fliege ich nach Nashville zu Taylor Guitars.
Wir sind gerade in Atlanta am Flughafen, haben noch zu warten. So, wir sind jetzt endlich in Nashville angekommen und nach kurzem Erfrischen geht's gleich weiter. So, Stefan, jetzt haben wir uns schon verlaufen.
Super, aber was man hier immer rechts abbiegt oder links.
Also wir sind jetzt auf dem Weg zum One-on-One-Interview mit Andy Powers und fragen ihn um ein paar Sachen zu neuen Gitarren. Und wenn es geil läuft, hat er vielleicht auch Bock, eine Runde zu zocken. Wir haben hier ganz recht, mag ich gern. Also stay tuned.
Perfect. Well, we're good to go.
Let's play.
Let's play.
Thanks, Andy.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, let's get into it. New guitars, Taylor, 2019.
New guitars.
Well, obviously a new body size, called like round shoulder dreadnought.
Sorta. If you
Sort
squint,
of.
if you squint your eyes
Yeah.
just right, you know?
So what was the initial spark for getting a new body size?
Well, it's more than just the body size, really. It started with the V-Class architecture.
Right.
Actually, this was one of the first guitars I designed with the V-Class idea, because I was wanting to build a sound that I couldn't get with any other instrument.
Any other Taylor instrument?
Really,
That's all
any
right.
instrument.
Okay, right.
Because we're familiar with these great records, kind of the songs of our own past. I go, there aren't actually any guitars that make that sound.
That kind of studio sound, like
Yeah, it's kind of a
what you
studio
hear when you
sound,
listen
but
to.
it's sort of just the familiarity that you would hear in maybe a seasoned guitar or something.
Right.
Where what you're actually hearing is a guitar filtered through a microphone
Right.
and EQ'd
EQs
and have
and-
kind of issues dealt
Yeah,
with,
absolutely.
that kind of thing. But it's something that it's just an approachable instrument. It's like a great piano
Right.
or something where you'd sit down and you'd play whatever's on your mind and be totally happy with the result.
Right. Okay. So does the body size in that case add something different to the V-Class bracing than like with the Grand Auditorium?
Yeah, they're different personalities. Really, one of the real benefits of the V-Class architecture, I mean, we've got the volume, we've got the sustain, this amazing intonation, all these attributes that we love.
Yeah.
But one of the most exciting things is it allows us to change the way the guitar sounds by just altering a couple of parts.
So you can tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, you can
easier,
tweak it.
Right.
You can tweak it without taking something away from another part of the guitar.
From the wanted parts.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so like typically with a conventional, say, X-brace design, if I alter a part to add a little more of one characteristic, that usually means I'm taking something else away.
So you lose like the frequency or something?
You lose something else somewhere.
All right.
And this design allows a lot more independent control over the way it works. So, man, they've got good volume. Yeah, they've got good sustain, but neither one has to suffer.
Yeah.
I want it to sound like real modern and vibrant, kind of that brilliant Taylor sound that we love. Well, we can make that. And that's a wonderful thing. So that's what I did with the Grand Auditoriums when we first introduced it is, hey, there's a sound that we love.
Most Taylor is Taylor-like.
Yeah,
people say,
it's a very Taylor-like sound. And that's a wonderful thing. It works great for a whole bunch of musicians.
Right.
But that's not the only thing that I love.
So if you want to go like on the other side, like the old side of music, you need a
you could do that.
different sound.
You just want something that's like the notes are shaped a little differently. They sit in a mix in a different way. They play with other instruments in a different way.
Right. So there's not that differentiate articulation. It's more like a round sound, so to speak.
Yeah. Like if I drew a picture of what the notes were shaped like.
Yeah.
Most modern guitars, like a modern G8,
triangles,
it's almost like a triangle-shaped
it's like
note.
sharp
It's
articulated.
very precise. It sits exactly where it needs to sit. There's a lot of definition from one note to the next, and that's really great for a lot of styles of music. But sometimes I want the notes to be round.
Right,
Or like in this case, they're almost like a bell curve, where every note is very broad.
Yeah,
So you can play a single note and have it just kind of expand
floated into the next
outward.
note, right? Something
Yeah,
like
they
that.
sort of blend
Oh, right,
together
right,
a bit
okay.
in an appealing way.
So, one question was like with the V-class bracing, when we played the 717 and 517 with mahogany spruce and rosewood spruce, I feel like the tonal characteristics of the wood was like way more present than in other guitars. Is that like kind of the V-class bracing?
It's true. It's true. All the differences in these little tweaks that we make, whether it was changing a bracing pattern a little bit to get a different characteristic, changing the size of the guitar or the woods,
right.
all of those differences become exaggerated. So before, you'd hear maybe a rosewood guitar and a mahogany guitar, a sapele guitar. You go, okay, they're quite a bit like each other. You know, I say that I can hear the difference, and you can when you're listening really close, but it's kind of like splitting hairs. You know?
Right, yeah.
There's subtle
Kinda similar.
distinctions. Using the V-class architecture, it allows us to make them very different flavors.
Right.
Where the difference is pretty dramatic.
What if you would use like a V-class bracing with a laminated back and sides? So you can't hear really the laminated back and sides. Like, are there any characteristics, or it's just like, okay, you just hear the top?
It could be done. It could be done. But part of what I like with these guitars is I get the chance to really control the back and the top together.
Right, okay.
Because we never hear just the top working or just the back working.
It's
always a
system.
system. You
Right.
get to hear the whole guitar.
Okay.
So you hear these strings working with this neck and this top and this back and these sides. It's meant as a whole, like a cohesive instrument.
So there's something missing if you put out one of those elements.
They're good, it's just not the same.
All right, okay. Talking about the neck, I mean, you have this question a million times before. Tell us something about the new compound carved neck.
Okay, so the neck is something, like I said, I want to build a cohesive guitar, right? So to me, a guitar should look the way it sounds and sound the way it feels.
Right.
Right? All the parts should kind of like affirm each other.
Right.
So I had this sound in my head that I wanted to build, and I wanted the guitar to feel that same way. I wanted it to feel comfortable, approachable, familiar.
Is it like the same approach like with the Maple series? Like the people think they sound bright because they look bright, so you paint them brown, and now they look familiar, and it's like, okay, it could be a warm sound because the guitar is brown, something like that.
Yeah, in some ways.
Yeah.
And in this case, I wanted a neck that was very familiar. Now, one of the things that I've noticed is that our hand position changes. And it's not just me, it's kind of most players.
What, going up the neck, right?
Yeah, so if I've got my hand low on the fingerboard, I'll tend to wrap my thumb a little more. Even if you're not all the way there, your thumb's going to be on the high side of the neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the time I come up here on this portion of the fingerboard, up by the heel, my thumb isn't wrapping around it anymore. That's not a natural position for your wrist. And so it dawned on me that, well, it doesn't really make all that much sense to always make like a uniform profile up the neck.
Because, well, the height changes, so why not the profile?
I'm not holding it, I'm not playing it the same way. So this neck actually changes in shape ever so slightly. It's fairly slim and slender, almost like a very, very subtle V up here. And it rounds out into something that's far more forgiving to putting your thumb in the back of in the back of the neck.
Right.
So we call it a compound carve because this one, it does actually change in shape. So that combined with the way the fingerboard edge is rolled, it almost feels like a guitar that's been refretted once or twice.
Yeah, right, so played in, broken in feeling,
So as soon as you pick the thing up, it feels like a guitar you've held for a long time.
Okay. So what do you think, just people don't do this more often? Because it's, like you said, it's an obvious thing. The hand is changing, so
it's obvious in hindsight.
Okay. Yeah, well, so...
Sometimes it takes a while to figure some things out.
Okay, right, yeah. Well, hands down, is this the guitar you always wanted to build? Or the best guitar you built so far?
I don't know, I love them all. I tend to like the one that I'm going to build next.
Right, okay.
So I think the one that I build next is going to be the best one ever.
Like always the next one.
Kind of, it's like playing a show or writing a song or something. Where
next one will be better.
Yeah, that was great. I like that one. Next one is going to be awesome.
All right, okay.
Yeah, the next take, that's the one. Okay, one more.
Okay, try the other way around. Is it the the most versatile tailor you build?
This one might be the most general purpose, like versatile guitar that we've offered in a long time.
Right.
Is those grand auditorium guitars, I love them. They work for a lot of playing styles in a lot of situations. It's a wonderful modern sound. And this one is equally wonderful, but with a different personality.
Yeah, I talked to some guys and we came to the point when we said, well, like the old tailors were like, if you're an electric guitar player, want an acoustic guitar, pick up a Taylor, everything's good, you're right home instantly. But if you're like a real acoustic only player, you wouldn't grab a Taylor for your first choice. But I think this could be like one, okay, I play normally, I would like buy a Martin or whatever, just try this one out. Could be your next best guitar.
Yeah, it's interesting. This one's a real versatile guitar because some of the real traditional musicians have kind of taken to this instrument, gone almost like claimed it as their own.
Okay.
And yet, on the other hand, some of the most modern guitar players I could name have done the same thing.
Okay.
So I go, well, what is it?
Okay, we've done something.
You know?
Something is good, right? Okay.
When musicians of different sorts are like that, I'll point to that instrument and go, yeah, I could use that. That makes me think, okay, well, this is good.
Right.
You know, like you take a real iconic instrument, take a Steinway Model D piano. Okay. It's one of the icons of the music world. If you listen to, let's say, Vladimir Horowitz, listen to McCoy Tyner, listen to Dr. John, they're all known for playing on that model. But could you name 3 piano players that are more different from each other?
No, not really. Yeah.
That's like totally different style, totally different voice out of the instrument, everything about it.
Okay, use it as a tool to make their own like art,
Yeah, it's like the most brilliant paintbrush ever, where these painters are picking the thing up and making images that are nothing alike, but all equally wonderful.
Right.
You know, so I look at a great instrument as having that quality.
To go your own ways with that instrument, right?
So whether it was a violin that was playing in an orchestra or a country band or bluegrass band or in a rock band, whether it was a piano, whether it was a great guitar, it should be able to do a lot of things.
Right. Okay. Thanks for...
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. Want to play one more round?
You lead. I'm a natural born follower.
I go one in G again. It's mine.
You bet.